Hey guys, I'm Izzy and welcome to this Warlords of Draenor rating guide. Today we'll be taking a look at Beastlord Darmok in Heroic Blackground Foundry. Now keep in mind that these tactics can also be applied to the normal version. This is a multi-phase encounter and you have control over the order in which the phases occur. The Beastlord starts out with a basic set of abilities and at certain percentages he will mount the closest beast, permanently gaining additional abilities from them. He will mount a beast at 85%, 65% and 45%. When he's mounted, you can only attack the beast itself. The recommended order for mounting the beasts is Cruel Fang, Iron Crusher and finally Dreadwing. He has two basic attacks, of which the first is Pin Down. With this he will throw a spear, deal AoE damage to anyone within 25 yards, and pin down players within 3 yards. To get the players out, you will have to kill the spear itself. So the area they land will be marked, and as such the players should just move out of it. If they don't hit anyone, they can still be killed. And due to later abilities, you should still dot these up if they don't hit anyone. His other basic ability is Call the Pack. He will summon adds called Pack Beasts, which will need to be tanked and killed. These spawn at a specific gate, as you can see in this video, and thus you should always have Darmok being tanked there to have no issues in picking the adds up for tanking. Your DPS can just AoE these down, and they don't really do much. Once again, he will mount the closest beast when he reaches a certain health percentage, and as such he should automatically mount Cruel Fang at 85% if you're standing near the spawn place of the pack beasts. When you activate Cruel Fang, the new ability the Beastlord will get is called Rend and Tear. For Rend and Tear, ranged players should be spread out for 7 yards, and no one should be standing within 7 yards of the tank attacking the boss. The boss will leap to a random player, giving them a 30-second bleed dot, and then leap back to the tank, giving them the same debuff. He will also increase their damage taken by Rend and Tear by 10%, requiring a tank switch. You will want to swap tanks at 3 to 4 stacks. The second ability you will have to deal with, which he does not keep when Cruel Fang dies, is Savage Howl. This does damage to the players near the boss, and gives the boss and any adds an enrage effect. Now this effect can be dispelled. Once Cruel Fang is dead and the Beastlord reaches 65%, you will want him to mount Iron Crusher. To be sure this happens, move Darmok closer to the Cleft Hoof so that he does not mount the Rylak. This is the only mount you'll actually have to move him actively to, and away from the Pack Beast Gate. When you activate Iron Crusher, the new ability the Beastlord will get is called Tantrum. This is a very simple AoE to the entire raid, and naturally this will require healing. The next ability which he does not keep is called Crush Armor. This is a stacking debuff reducing the tank's armor by 10% per stack. However, because you're already tank swapping on Rend and Tear, you don't have to worry about this when it comes to swapping. The final ability is called Stampede. He will charge to a random ranged player and deal damage to anyone getting hit by him, so naturally just move away. When Darmok reaches 45%, he will mount the final beast, Dreadwing. He will gain 3 abilities, of which the first he will keep permanently. The first ability is Inferno Breath, with which Dreadwing will point to a random direction and breathe a cone of fire. This will also give you a dot, so be sure to move out of it, and not only that, but the longer you stand in it, the more damage the dot will do. So use your movement speed increases if you have to, and this can be dispelled if needed, but you'll preferably just not want to get hit by it. The second ability is called Searing Fangs, which deals damage and gives a stacking debuff increasing fire damage taken by 20% per stack. Now once again, because of Rend and Tear, the tanks already are performing tank swaps, and as such this should not require additional swapping. The final ability is Conflagration. This is a dot, causing the players to run around, and it will spread to anyone within 8 yards of that player. So that this means that it has to be dispelled as soon as possible, so that no other players get hit and lose control of their character. When it comes to dispelling, this debuff requires absolute priority, and if someone does get hit by the fire cone, but only has 1 stack of the dot for example, you might just want to let it run out. When Dreadwing dies, Inferno Breath turns into Superheater Shrapnel, which also now leaves fire zones on the floor, which you will of course have to dodge, or rather move out of. Now, other than the other beasts, when Dreadwing dies, the Beastmaster will gain additional effects to his abilities. The Pack Beasts will deal AoE fire damage due to Flame Infusion, and the Heavy Spears will use Seeking Embers, dealing fire damage to random players. Now these Seeking Embers are why you'll want to multi-dot any spears that don't impale players anyway, to reduce the damage when this phase starts. To get through this last phase as quickly as possible, you'll want to use Heroism when Dreadwing dies. And that's all you need to know for this encounter. It's a pretty easy fight, and as such you shouldn't have much trouble with it, whether it's normal or heroic depending on your group, but nevertheless good luck. If you liked this rating guide, please comment, subscribe and click on the like button. If you would like to keep up with when new videos come out but you don't have a YouTube account, you can also follow us on Twitter or Facebook at twitter.com/bbmezzy or facebook.com/wowweekly. And also be sure to check out our website wowweekly.net, where you can find written content as well. For now, I'm Mezzy, and I'll see you again next time.